Guys, in today's video, I want us to talk about four Ghanaian players who featured for their club side in the English Premier League. They did well, performed well, scored goals, and I'm going to talk about their performances. You are watching SportsCornerGH, and my name is Adam. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure to subscribe. If you have already subscribed, thank you very much, and may God richly bless you. So, guys, quickly, let's jump into it. And I want to begin with Tariq Lamptey, who plays for Brighton and Hove Albion today. They played against Leicester City, and we have two Ghanaian interests in there. Tariq Lamptey, who plays for Brighton and Hove Albion, who started that game, and also Jordan Ayew for Leicester City, who also started that game. But then let's start with Tariq Lamptey. In the game, he scored a goal, and that goal is his first goal in the EPL since 1st November 2020. So far this season, he has scored 2 goals and given 2 assists across all competition for Brighton and Hove Albion, and this is good for Tariq Lamptey. Tariq Lamptey at a point this season, we all thought he lost his position at Brighton and Hove Albion, but then today the goal he scored, wow, that is a screamer, that is a banger, and trust me, goal of the month. This particular goal is just, a contender, but then due to copyright reasons, I can't bring you the video of the goal, but I'm going to leave a link in the description where you can watch the goal. But what I'm trying to say is Tariq Lamptey really did well in that game for Brighton and Hove Albion. By the end of the day, the scoreline was 2-2. Now you might be wondering, how come? You see, Brighton and Hove Albion were leading that game by 2-0. How they lost and bottled it, we have to just give Ruud van Nistelrooy all his flowers. He did well with the Leicester City team. But then let's take a look at Tariq Lamptey's performance in numbers. He played the full 90 minutes. He scored a goal. He was rated 7.5 by SofaScore. He had a total of 3 clearances, 1 interception, 1 tackle completed successful. Ground balls won was 4 out of 8. If you take a look at his total touch, it is 72. Accurate passes completed, 42 out of 45, accumulating to 93%. Key passes 1. Crosses successful, 1 out of 3. Long ball successful, 1 out of 2. 1 shot on target that resulted into the goal, and his rating is 7.5 for Tariq Lamptey. He was not bad in that game, based on my opinion, and scored a goal today, a screamer. Now let's move away from Tariq and talk about Jordan Ayew, who also featured for Leicester City. Now he did not play the full 90 minutes. He was substituted in the second half, but I just felt like it was as if he was it wasn't his day. Jordan Ayew today wasn't his day. He really did not play like the Jordan Ayew we usually want to be seen, because I watched that game extensively, especially the latter part of the second half, and I was not feeling Jordan Ayew in that game because he was playing along the same position where Tariq Lamptey was. So I was expecting that kind of, aggressiveness, the friction between two of them, but I really didn't see it from Jordan. But let's take a look at Jordan Ayew's performance in numbers in that game. He played 62 minutes in that game. Total touch of 25. As I said, he was not himself in that game. Accurate passes completed, 16 out of 20, accumulating to 80%. 1 key pass, 1 long ball successful. Double attempt successful, 1 out of 1. Ground balls won, 1 out of 5. Area balls, 1 out of 3. And he was rated 6.5 by SofaScore. It wasn't his day, and I love the fact that Ruud van Nistelrooy, he was able to notice that Jordan Ayew was not performing to the best of his ability, and took him off as earlier as possible. So with Jordan Ayew, he really did not perform very well in my own opinion, but then Tariq Lamptey, he was exceptional today. And let's not forget, Joel Veltman is injured and Tariq Lamptey is back, and the position is making a claim for it. So guys, that is my own takes on these two players who featured in the game between Brighton and Hove Albion and also Leicester City that ended in a 2-2 draw. Now, let's move away from that and talk about Arsenal. Arsenal today played against Fulham. It ended up in a 1-1 draw. Thomas Partey featured in that game but played as a right back. Now, I think the mistake Arsenal usually do is sending Thomas Partey to the right back. Don't get me wrong, he plays the position very well, but I believe that if you really want the best out of Thomas Partey, put him in the midfield. Stop, experimenting. When you put Thomas Partey at right back, if you are playing against a tougher opponent, kind of makes sense. But you are playing against Fulham. What is there to fear that you have to move Thomas Partey from the midfield to right back? Because, trust you me, there were other players who could have played that right back position who were sitting on that bench. But that being said, Arsenal once again scored through a corner. And right now, they are the corner kings. Honestly, they play corner and you are shaking because you know it could end up in the goal. And currently, they're doing well with that. Thomas Partey did not perform bad himself. He performed very well as usual. And I'm going to take you through his performance and numbers. Thomas Partey's performance and numbers. He played the full 90 minutes in that game. If you take a look at his total tackles, it is 1. If you take a look at his ground duels, 1 out of 7. If you take a look at also his total touches, it is 105. Thomas Partey touched the ball several times. Now, in that game, what I noticed was that when Arsenal were defending, Thomas Partey was actually playing that right back position. But then when they were attacking, when they were being on the offensive, Thomas Partey was playing as an inverted midfielder. He was slotting in into the half spaces, occupying those half spaces between the right back and also the right-hand side of the midfield. And he did a very great job there. So if you see him getting total touch of 105, it shouldn't shock you. Thomas Partey was more or less like the main man, but then he was hiding in the shadow. So total touch of 105, accurate passes completed 79 out of 85, accumulating to 93%. If you take a look at his dribble attempted successful, it is 1, shot off target 1, and also his rating was 6.6. In my own opinion, Arsenal could have done better in today's game, had several chances, scored a goal that was disallowed by VAR. Thomas Partey once again proved to us that no matter where you put him, he's going to play well. But then, as I said, Thomas Partey should be used as a midfielder. When you are playing against Fulham, you don't have to kind of sacrifice Thomas Partey to go and play right back. You are not going to get the best out of him, and obviously Arsenal is not going to tick. But whenever Thomas Partey plays that midfield, yes, you see Arsenal performing very well, winning games. Today, he ended up in a 1-1 draw, and I mean, that is as far as it goes. Now, let's move on and talk about Antoine Semenyo, who featured for Bournemouth, and obviously, honestly, I did not know Bournemouth were going to win this game because at the beginning, I thought it was going to be a difficult game for Bournemouth because we were playing against Ipswich Town away from home, and Ipswich Town are one team that hardly concede goals. But getting to the close of the game, Bournemouth scored 2 goals. So at the end of the day, the scoreline was 2-1 in favor of Bournemouth. Now, let's take a look at Antoine Semenyo's performance and numbers. He played the full 90 minutes. He had a total touch of 68. Accurate passes completed was 21 out of 33, accumulating to 64%. 2 key passes, 1 cross, successful, 1 shot on target, 1 shot off target, 2 shots blocked, dribble attempted successful, 6 out of 8. And let's not forget, when it comes to top dribblers in the EPL, Semenyo is part of the top 3. It is Fatal Kudus Semenyo, and Semenyo is, piling up the numbers. Don't be surprised if he goes back to be the number 1, because getting a total of 6 out of 8, I mean, that is really, really good. Ground Loss 1 was 10 out of 19, and he was rated 7.8. A very impressive performance from Antoine Semenyo, helping Bournemouth to win that game against Ipswich Town. So, guys, these are the performances of 4 Ghanaian players or 4 Black Star players for their respective clubs in the English Premier League. Let me know what you think about it. Thomas Partey for Arsenal, as they played against Fulham, ended up in a 1-1 draw. Thomas Partey was rated 6.6. Tariq Lamptey played against Jordan Ayew's Leicester City, and at the end of the game, Brighton and Hove Albion won. At the end of the game, it was 2-2. Sorry, Brighton and Hove Albion did not win. It was 2-2. Yes, and Tariq Lamptey was rated 7.5. Jordan Ayew was rated 6.5. Antoine Semenyo's Bournemouth won that game against Ipswich Town 2-1. Antoine Semenyo was rated 7.8. Let me know your thoughts about the performances down below in the comments. Thanks for joining me. My name is Adam. I'll be sure to see you in the next one. Charlie, we go vibe.